Welcome to our lecture 14, Risk Management in Projects. Today we will be exploring what risk management is, why it is very crucial to the success of any project, and how can you effectively manage risk throughout project lifecycle. Risk management is not just about avoiding problems, it's about being proactive and prepared, ensuring that your project stays on track no matter what challenges arise. Let's continue the discussion in lecture 14, Introduction to Risk Management in Projects. So we will cover overview of the importance of risk management in project management, introduction to key concepts, and the role of risk management in project success. Let's discuss what is risk management. Let's start by defining what we mean by risk management. Simply put, risk management is the process of identifying, assessing, and controlling potential risks that could impact your project. These risks could be anything from technical challenges and budget issues to external factors like market changes or natural disasters. The goal of risk management is to anticipate these potential problems and implement strategies to mitigate to avoid them before they can derail your project. Discuss different types of risk in projects. Risk in project come in many forms, and it's important to understand the different types so you can manage them effectively. Some common risks are mentioned here, like technical risk. Taking the laser part, like yes. Technical risks, these are related to the technology, tools or processes used in the project. They can include issues like software bugs, hardware failures or unrealistic technical requirements. Next is operational risks. These involve day-to-day operations and resource management. Examples include delay in supply chains, resource shortages, or inefficiencies in project execution. Financial risks, budget overruns, funding issues, or financial constraints fall into this category. This risk can severely impact the project's ability to meet its goals. External risks, these are factors outside the project's control, such as regulatory changes, shifts, or natural disasters. While you cannot prevent these risks, you can prepare for them. Human risks, these relate to personnel such as skill shortages, high turnover rates, or communication breakdown within the team. The risk management process. Effective risk management follows a structured process, typically involving the key steps. Step 1, risk identification. Start by identifying potential risks that could impact your project. This involves brainstorming with your team, reviewing historical data, and consulting with experts. Next is risk assessment. Once risks are identified, assess their likelihood and potential impact on the project. This helps prioritize which risks need the most attention. Next is risk prioritization. Rank the risks based on their potential impact and likelihood. Focus your efforts on the highest priority risk first. Risk mitigation. Develop strategies to reduce or eliminate the impact of each risk. This could involve changing project plans, allocating additional resources, or implementing contingency plans. Risk monitoring. Continuously monitor identified risks throughout the project and be prepared to adjust your strategies as new risks emerge. The role of risk management in project success. Risk management plays a critical role in success of any project. Here is why. Proactive planning. By identifying and addressing risks early, you can prevent any potential issues from becoming actual problems. Informed decision making. Risk management provides a solid basis for making decisions that minimize the impact of potential risk on the project. Improved resource allocation. It ensures that resources are directed toward managing the most critical risk, helping to keep the project on track. Increase stakeholder confidence. Demonstrating a structured approach to manage uncertainties can boost stakeholder confidence in your project's success. Let's discuss key risk management tools. To manage risk effectively, you will need the right tools. Some key risk management tools include risk register, a document that lists all identified risks along with their assessment and mitigation strategies. It is a living document that you will update throughout the project. SWOT analysis. This tool helps identify strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats related to project risk. Risk matrix, a visual tool that assess and prioritize risk based on their likelihood and impact, helping your focus on the most significant risk. Monte Carlo simulation, a quantitative method that assesses the impact of risk on project outcomes by running multiple simulations, providing a range of possible outcomes. Risk identification techniques. Identifying risks is the first step in the risk management process. Here are some techniques you can use, like brainstorming sessions. Engage your team in identifying potential risks. This collaborative approach often uncovers risks that might not be immediately obvious. Next is expert interviews. Consult with experts to gain insights into potential risks that may not be apparent from within the project team. SWOT analysis. Use the tool to identify internal and external factors that could pose risk to the project. Historical data analysis. Review past projects to identify recurring risks and understand how they were managed. Risk assessment and prioritization. Once you have identified risks, potential risks, the next step is to assess and prioritize them. Like qualitative assessment, evaluate risks based on their likelihood and impact using subjective criteria such as high, medium, or low. Quantitative assessment, use numerical data to assess the probability and potential impact of risks, giving you a more precise understanding of their potential effects. Risk prioritization, rank risks based on their assessment to focus on the most critical ones. This ensures that your efforts are directed where they are most needed. Next, we will discuss developing risk mitigation strategies. After prioritizing the risk, it is time to develop strategies to manage them. Common risk mitigation strategies include avoidance. Change the project plan to eliminate the risk entirely. Mitigation. Take steps to reduce the likelihood or impact of the risk, such as implementing new processes or adding resources. Transfer. Shift the risk to a third party, such as through insurance or outsourcing. Acceptance. Acknowledge the risk and prepare to manage its impact if it occurs, often used when the cost of mitigation overweights the potential impact. Risk monitoring and control. Risk management does not stop once you have developed your mitigation strategy. You need to continuously monitor risk and adjust your strategies as the project evolves. Continuous monitoring. Regularly review the status of identified risk and watch for new risks that may emerge. Adjusting strategies. Be flexible and ready to modify your risk management strategies as the project progresses and new information becomes available. Communication. Keep stakeholders informed about the status of risks and these steps you are taking to manage them. This transparency builds trust and ensures everyone is prepared for potential issues. Common challenges in risk management. While risk management is essential, it is not without its challenges. Here are some common challenges you might face. Underestimating risks. Failing to recognize the potential impact of risk can lead to inadequate preparation and response. Lack of risk awareness. Inadequate communication and training on risk management can result in a team that's unprepared to handle risk effectively. Inadequate resources, not allocating enough resources to manage high priority risks that can jeopardize the project success. Resistance to change. Implementing risk mitigation strategies often requires change, and resistance from the team or stakeholders can hinder these efforts. Let's look at a case study where effective risk management played a critical role in project success. In this project, the team identified several high priority risks early on, including potential supply chain disruptions and budget overrun. By developing robust mitigation strategies such as diversifying suppliers and securing contingency funding, they were able to keep the project on track and within budget. The key takeaway here is that proactive risk management can make the difference between project success and failure. Recap and key takeaways. To recap, risk management is a critical component of project management that involves identifying, assessing, and controlling potential risks. By taking a proactive approach to managing risk, you can anticipate challenges, make informed decisions, and keep your project on track. Remember, effective risk management not only helps you avoid potential pitfalls, but also builds stakeholder confidence in your project's success. Thank you for joining me in this lecture, Risk Management in Projects. I hope you now have a better understanding of how crucial risk is and how it needs to be managed for the success of projects. In our next lecture, we will dive into techniques for identifying and analyzing potential risk and project risk, and the tools like risk register and risk matrix. I hope to see you there.